Good morning, everybody. Lights. There we go. We can see. Wonderful. All right, we've already done one clean off this morning, so we've kicked off again. I'm getting some issues with this filament, so I'm just doing a flow rate calibration. It's just not dialed in perfect with the profiles. This is new product. It is currently being printed because I got to take photos, so I need 10 of each. So we're doing 10 as an object here and 10 there. What do I mean by that? I want this to do both colors. If I was to do print by object, there's no way I can fit 20 units on there. So I put 10 on, I combine them as a single object, I put another 10 on, combine them as a single object, then I only need a gap in the middle. I can do 20 objects, print by object, in multiple color, if that makes sense. This is doing some samples. Down here, we are doing more of our wall pattern that's gonna go up. This just got cleared off, and this one is about to enter a 3-day print. So anything that I'm doing now that is multiple day, like as in 48 hours or longer, goes on these two because it's running on a UPS. Simple as that. I just don't want a failure coming in 2-3 days into a print. So those two are running on a UPS, so they do the longer prints. These all do the shorter ones. We're loaded with filament. We got some more pink because we've got heaps of that to do. Today we are stripping all this down and we are finally putting the new panel up so we can put out our multi-board on the front of it and set up our photography area. So that's it. Lots to say, lots to do. We've got a filthy hat on today. Yes, I have a heap of different hats, and I'll tend to wear the dirtiest ones in here, so that way any shit that falls on the hat, and that's it. Before anyone says anything, yes, when I first built these I did run out, so I printed some, it was PETG, put it in the middle just to join the two sides of the pipe. I don't know, 3 times, and glued it, so it's a bit wonky, but hey, it holds. As I alluded to, I've redone the wall on the outside, new insulation. If you want to see how bad this is, that whole thing got rotted out essentially. Yeah, so we've redone the wall on the outside. I think I took a clip of that. Now we're redoing the wall on the inside. My camera stand, for anyone wondering, is for Bamboo Lab empty spools. Seems to level quite well. By the way, that's the Gridfinity wall at the moment. So let's just keep going. It's always fun when you've been away and your tools are somewhere else. I'll be back. We're going to replace this back one tomorrow. I've got all this other steel out there now that I use as part of some of the products I make. So this wonky one at the back, and we're going to print some end caps that hold them and lock them in. But for now, this will do. They're as wonky as they come, these bottom ones. Hey. We'll replace that back one. I've got heaps more of this steel out there, so it'll be a job for when we cut the stuff that goes up there. We'll cut a replacement for that back. Just at the time, that's all I had. So we have a couple of PETG rolls, bamboo ones here, they're both basic. Hoping there's enough grey, I've got to print 2 brackets. If I can print the brackets, then we can do one of these across there, and that will hold more rolls. Essentially, this is the plate I'm using for PETG and everything else. Because you can use PETG as an interface layer for PLA, meaning they don't stick together, I don't like printing PETG and PLA on the same plates, because then you've got to clean them more, especially between prints. People print PETG and they're like, oh, my PLA is not sticking, or you've been printing heaps of PLA and your PETG doesn't stick. Generally, it's because you got cross contamination on the surface. If you print layers, think of like a layered cake. You can do a PLA, PETG, PLA, PETG, PLA, PETG, and then after you've printed it, you can separate all those layers with your hands. They just come apart. Same thing's happening on your plate if you're doing PETG and PLA on the same plate. So I like to keep my PETG plates separate. I don't print a lot of PETG, but when I do, I like to swap them. So. So that's back up. There's a couple of other bits missing that I've got to put in, blowtorch and a few things. We have more green PETG coming, so we can print a few more bits. And we will today put a rack across there, and then we will multi-board under it. And then under here is what all of those bits are for, and they're going to make a really nice backdrop. Now, at the moment, I'm thinking of gluing those onto a piece of wood, putting magnets in the back, and having a couple of these with magnets, so then when I want to put backdrops on, it'll just snap in place, opposed to permanently being there. Is my theory at the moment. Or I will just make it with 2 multi-board hooks. So I just put it up and it clips onto the multi-board. We will see, but first let's get that rack up, and then we can work out how many pieces we need to print. As much as that would all look fantastic as a multi-board, I think it's more useful having the spools. And the other thing is, those racks, even if I don't want to put spools on, I can use them as shelves. I can print flat that goes on top, and it can be shelved, which to me would seem far more useful than just the whole thing being multi-board. It's also harder to reach up here. As we're down here, this is it, that is in reach. So it might be a bit noisy in here, but I just got a motor overloaded notification, and it really this is what pisses me off with eSun cardboard spools, and it's annoyed me for a long time, and they just stick their head in the sand. So let me show you. So I got one print that finished. There you go. 2 minutes ago, it's telling me overloaded. So let's come down here and try and see. All right. So that spool is currently locked up. It's jammed. So let it go. It's going to try and get it again. See if you can spot it. There it is. And it locks into the side. And it won't go any further. And it will create a layer shift, because right now there's enough pressure that it's going to start reprinting. Then now it's detecting it can't pull any further, and enough of those, and it creates a bloody layer shift in your prints. And now had that have happened on something more important or into a 4-day print, it's damn annoying. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit go again on it, and then we're just going to snip it, and we're going to get rid of the rest of the spool, because that spool will probably have glue or some other crap on it by now. So we'll just wait. There we go. Done. Okay, now what it will do is it will get back to printing. It will use up what's left between the AMS and the head, and then it will get onto this one. Now, let's take this spool and go have a look what the problem was. Okay. Really hope you can hear me in here, because it is noisy, so I'm sorry. Well, there we go. You can see it right there. It's glue. And if that, there you go, and I've just pulled that, and look what it does to the filament. It kinks it. So if you leave that in there long enough, it will snap. But essentially, every single time I have these issues, you can see it in there. The filament is literally glued to the spool. So whatever glue they use in here, obviously it either isn't fully cured or it gets warm enough that it softens up. And once it softens up, it sticks to the spool or sticks to the filament, and that's it. So essentially, where are we? So essentially that's now wasted. And let's just pull the rest of this off. It's not a huge amount, thank goodness. Let me just pull it way. Nearly pulled the camera off too. Because sometimes I do get this on the other side as well. And the problem is, if that glue on there gets sucked through with the cardboard, it jams your nozzle up. Alright, let's have a look. Ah, there we go. So, this should come away. Look, it's glued. Alright, that was on the glue in the corner. Another one. You can see it's still glued. Now we pull. Ah, here we go. There you go. And then that stuff gets dragged through your AMS, through your nozzle, and it clogs it up. And there's the end of it. So the end has come off, but repeatedly, even if I peel that off, you can see there's glue and cardboard. So it clogs up your nozzle. Really great when you're trying to use the end of a spool, so you load up, and basically there's all that to go in the bin. So I don't know how much that is, it's probably 50 grams or something, but you know, 50 grams and you're going through 15 rolls a week of it, just in wasted filament. And you can't even use that on anything else, because you'd have to go through and cut off all the bits that have the glue on them and the cardboard to make sure. So cardboard spools, eSun, they're a fail. Apparently they've gone back to plastic, but some of what I'm getting is still on cardboard. So, and they're the new ones too. They're latest cardboard versions. Junk. That's it for this video, I think. I've got a couple more projects to complete setting up this space, and then once it's set up I can really deep dive into the stuff I want to be sharing. But yeah, just working in a small space at the moment, I've got to get a couple of things right to be able to jump into that stuff. but I really want to showcase products I do, how I choose them, the methodology behind choosing them, how I post-process them, all those sort of things. But yeah, hopefully some of this was helpful. Some of it was me screwing things up and trying to fix it. Being in a rush, being in a small space is what it is. I can cut a lot of that out, and then it looks like, hey, it's all magic, but honestly, it's not all magic. There's a lot of errors and effing around that goes on behind it. That's all. If you like the video, please hit subscribe, give it a thumbs up. I just want to cruise along to say the first 100 subscribers, and awesome. If you can't, it's all right.